If you don't get these matched up, it's not going to lay flat against the flywheel. So that's the only thing. There is a right and a wrong way to do this. What is up, guys? Welcome back to T-Dog Customs, to another video. If you are new to the channel, this is a very out of context video that I'm going to be doing today. It is on my dad's John Deere 737. He just picked up a new, really nice 72-inch zero turn, but this one is also his, and it's leaking oil pretty bad from somewhere over in this direction. So in today's video, I'm going to drive it into the shop, kind of clean it up maybe a little bit, and see if I can figure out where exactly the oil is coming from. And more likely than not, I'm going to have to pull the whole engine out and dive deep into this thing and see. But Dad's had this mower for probably 10 years, maybe more, 10 years plus, I would say. And it's been a great mower, minus some valve head issues that are pretty common on these V-twin engines. So it still runs, but it's leaking oil really bad. So as I was saying, I'm typically working on diesel engines, trucks, my diesel swap Jeep, which is not here right now because I'm driving my dad's truck. But let's go ahead, get the garage unlocked, and we'll pull this in there and see what's going on. So I got the I guess this would be considered like the hood up, so I can have access to it. There is two clips right here that just unclip, and then this thing swings up, and you can see you kind of have to latch it into place. However, I think I figured out the issue already, and it seems like a pretty simple issue. But there's no way to know for sure, but I'm almost 100% sure right now. But if we look at the head, so I've replaced the head on this at one point in time, and maybe the head's just loose, because if you look right where my finger is, I don't know if you can see the oil, but when it's running and then I give it gas, a puff of smoke comes out of there. So I believe that may be the issue. It makes sense because, we've got oil running down this whole side here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take off this plate here. And see about reaching the head bolts, because it's under this plate here. So 12 millimeter for the head bolts. I just want to see if this is tight or... Alright, that's loose. So, it should be pretty tight, and that was pretty loose. So there's really one bolt up front here, a bolt up here, and a bolt here. That's really all you need to take out. So I took out some unnecessary stuff, but I want to clean. Look at this, just a mess. Put this back on the spark plug wire, started it up, and then looked for the smoke after I tightened these all back down. And it is not leaking like it was. So I personally think that was all that was wrong. But we won't know for sure until I do a little further inspection. Now, I noticed this other head is smoking as well, and the head bolts are loose. So we're gonna just do the same thing on this side. That we're gonna do the same thing on the driver's side, or yeah, I guess driver's side. We topped it off with oil, got everything back on, kind of cleaned some of the debris you can see back here. And before I power wash it, I've cleaned it up enough to where I can tell exactly if something is leaking. I'm gonna go run it for a couple minutes, wide open throttle, mowing, and just check to make sure we're not leaking anymore. I think that was it though. But yeah, we've got it topped off so the oil's full. I'll be able to monitor exactly, like, okay, if we're leaking really bad, then the oil level will obviously drop pretty quick. And visually, I'll be able to tell. So give me a few minutes, let me go do that. That little bit of mowing, man, got my allergies rocking. Anyways, as luck would have it, that did not fix the issue. I can visibly see a stream of oil coming from the front to back here when it's running. So my guess is it could be like a main seal that's bad, and it's hitting the fan and then blowing this way. It's tough to say, but at this point, I think the easiest way is going to be to pull the 4 bolts out of the engine and just kind of pivot the engine around and look at it that way, because it's just kind of yeah, one of those things. So I'm gonna go ahead and start working on that. I got the engine out. I've taken off you know, the covers and this thing, and now I'm trying to get this flywheel off. So let me show you what I did. I already loosened it up, but I went ahead and I put this pulley system back on, and I'll tell you why. The flywheel is now loose, but I had to use this pulley system because I didn't have a puller. So let me show you exactly what I did. Now, if you have the puller, by all means, use the puller. But for us that don't, so this is what I did. Your flywheel's on here. You're trying to suck this flywheel off. So I put back in the bolt for the flywheel, but I left it out about a ½ an inch or so. So when you pop this back on, it hits this before it mates up flush, if that makes sense. So there's, like, you know, a little bit of a gap. Then you put the 4 bolts back in and evenly torque it down, and then you can stick like a some kind of little device through to the back of the flywheel and tap it with the hammer while you have pressure on the bolts, and it should pop loose nice and easy like it did for me. And then you can, you know, obviously take your bolt back out. And the flywheel Come on. There we go. Whoa. Almost dropped that one. That would have been bad. All right, so the flywheel pops right out like that. I'm thinking we've got a main seal that's leaking. In fact, I know we do. I can see that. So that's what the issue is. This main seal bearing, the main seal for the crankshaft is leaking. All right, guys, it is the following day. I want to cover something with you guys though. This plate right here, I'm pretty sure that's where the oil was leaking from and running down to the fan, which is right here. So I'm pretty sure that was causing it was running down, hitting the fan, and then blowing all back through here. I'm pretty sure this main seal is fine. So my green line had it, but they had to order it and it wouldn't be in until Tuesday of next week. And I just can't wait that long to get this thing back and running. So I'm not gonna wait for that. I need to get this out of my garage. So I'm gonna put this back on. Hopefully that fixes it, and then we'll be good to go. So that's it. This is the gasket. I went ahead and made my own. I just traced out the lid, and you can buy like this gasket maker stuff. So that's what I did, and then traced it and cut it out and then popped it back on. Should be good to go. So I think that was the issue. Just make sure you clean your surfaces when you're putting it back down. But that's it. I'm going to clean this up a little bit, and then I'm going to put it back together, and that should fix our issue. If not, if it's still leaking oil, then it is our main seal, and you know, we'll have to tear this back out. But it literally is only like not very long to do that, so it comes out pretty quick. So I'm gonna put this back together and put you guys probably on time lapse. One thing I did want to mention really quick, hopefully the lighting you can see, but when it comes to here we go. So when it comes to putting this little flywheel fan on, there is a proper way. There's two little pins here. Let me get some light. So there's two little pins here that will go on either side of the fan. If you don't get these matched up, it's not going to lay flat against the flywheel. So that's the only thing. There is a right and a wrong way to do this. So make sure when you put it back together, you got these lined up right on either side of this like magneto or whatever this is. So just a little tip, help you out. So keep an eye out for that. So I got everything put back together. Let's see. I put a little zip tie on here so I knew which One went wear just as a precaution. Got the harness plugged in, the battery connected, everything with the clutch, mowing deck, PTO clutch all hooked up. So we should be good. I did disconnect the fuel lines because how I had the engine turned. So what I'm gonna do now, we're gonna start this bad boy up. I do need to sharpen the blades, so I'll probably do that right now. The way I do it, I just throw a jack up under the front. All right guys, I did take a quick break because I had to get a new wheel mounted and balanced for my come and swap Jeep. So this was the one that needed a new rim because the rim I bought from the factory was bent. So they sold me one for half price. Anyways, that's not why you're on this video. Here is what we're doing. I am letting this dry out. I need to get a new air filter. This one is, oh, my allergies. This one is completely toasted. So I'm gonna get a new air filter. But I did want to let you guys know that that breather plate was the cause of the leak on this. So it wasn't actually the main seal, it was the breather plate. So that wraps up this on this John Deere 737. I know this was a different video style than you're used to than on one of the trucks or projects, but yeah, that is it. Thanks for watching. As always, keep grinding. Peace. One last thing, new hats. Fire. TDC hats, guys. Camo. Looking fresh. So, message me if you are interested.